The story begins on the night of the eclipse. Professor Akazuki oversaw the modification, along with other modifiers, of his adopted son, Kotaro, and his biological son, Nobuhiko, to conduct a special experiment. As in previous storylines, Professor Akazuki, in his final moments, placed one of the King's Stones into Kotaro's body. With the infusion of the King's Stone's power, Kotaro's body suddenly transforms. However, due to some unknown reason, Kotaro, 50 years later, unexpectedly regains his freedom, and to survive in society, he proactively takes on debt collecting. Kotaro does this because of the pain in his leg, which requires something to alleviate it. At this time, the bounty boss across from him gives Kotaro another task: kill the girl in the photo. Faced with the generous reward, Kotaro, on the way back, repeatedly confirms the target. Meanwhile, on a road somewhere, a fierce struggle is erupting, triggered by many monsters wanting to live equally with humans. But the humans, as the opposing side, believe the monsters are quite up and threaten human existence. Thus, they demand the monsters leave the city. Unexpectedly, their behavior completely enrages the monsters. They begin to unleash their bestiality. Fortunately, the police have firearms and shoot several monsters to death. Faced with the sudden outbreak of monsters, many police officers step forward to stop them, temporarily easing the conflict. At the same time, the Prime Minister goes directly to Lord of Ultima's location. The Prime Minister, with a serious tone, instructs the 3 high priests to find a new lord. Otherwise, once the essence is depleted, his interests will not be protected. A moment later, the PM watches a speech. At this time, Bill Pinia suddenly notices the girl's lines are the same as someone he knew. So, Sword Saint orders Spider Mutant to immediately bring the girl back for investigation. Soon, Spider Mutant finds the girl. He first releases 8 spider legs. With the monster's great strength, knocks the girl to the ground with one kick, and rolls to Kotaro's side. Kotaro, seeing this, wants to act, but the King's Stone the girl is carrying suddenly stops Kotaro. At this time, Spider Mutant comes from behind and stabs Kotaro in the back with one hand. Unexpectedly, Kotaro's strong body breaks his arm instead, and gradually begins to transform. Facing the transforming Kotaro before him, Spider Mutant immediately reveals his true form, then spits out spider silk from his mouth. After a few seconds of shooting, he restrains Kotaro's arms, while Kotaro is blocking. But Kotaro doesn't panic at all, and easily breaks free from Then Kotaro rushes towards his opponent, and breaks his arm with brute force, and stabs the arm into his body. At the same time, Kotaro reaches in, and pulls out the opponent's intestines. Finally, Kotaro presses his attack, with his great power, separating Spider Mutant's corpse. Unexpectedly, Kotaro's scene almost killed the girl on the spot. After a brief battle, Kotaro, to find out the truth, immediately takes the girl away from the scene, and influenced by Kotaro, Nobuhiko, who is in Gorgo, is gradually returning to his original form. So this is Shadowmoon's true power. A single regular strike was enough to defeat the Heaven's Guard monster. To preserve his strength, Shadowmoon took Heaven's core from the vault and returned to the rebellion site. In this familiar territory, he discovered his long-buried motorcycle. Though weathered by time, the machine bore historical marks. Undaunted, Shadowmoon decided to reinvent himself with his ally Bat Mutant to restore the motorcycle. Meanwhile, Oi was awake, preparing breakfast for Kotaro, who coldly dismissed her gesture. He aggressively demanded answers about Aoi's Emperor's Stone pendant and its origin. Aoi explained the keepsake was her parents' final memento. To protect it permanently, she seized Kotaro's weakened state and escaped with the relic. Later at her foster mother's house, the phone suddenly rang. Her biological parents requested Aoi's presence immediately, but moments after hanging up, her parents were followed by mysterious pursuers. Under Bill Guinea's orders, mutants swiftly apprehended them. Meanwhile, wounded Kotaro stared at his old battle hopper, lost in bitter memories. The Emperor's Stone's emergence forced him to reactivate it to safeguard the relic. As Oi vanished from sight, her sparrow mutant companion sensed looming danger. The prediction proved true. Her foster mother was murdered. With targets in position, Rose Mutant revealed herself, extending vine-like tendrils. She yanked Oi closer. Rose then deployed black thorns, crushing the helpless sparrow, until resistance ceased. At this critical moment, Kotaro arrived and intervened. Kotaro attempted transformation, but Rose's barrier blocked his belt's activation. Shadowmoon emerged behind them, trapping Rose between foes. Rose chose instant retreat. Kotaro quickly signaled, "Newcomer Nobuhiko, infuse Heaven's Core into Sparrow." As the core's energy flowed, Sparrow's wounds healed. Kotaro soon cornered Rose, who held a hostage, limiting his options. But ruthless Nobuhiko showed no such restraint. Shadowmoon's vicious assault, enhanced by crushing grip, shattered Rose's arrogance, severing her legs instantly. The fatal injury left Rose dead where she stood. Post-battle, Nobuhiko reminded Kotaro, "Never forget our mission. Find the Lord of Ultima." Kotaro then escorted Aoi to meet her parents, but this reunion would end in crushing failure. With her foster mother gone, Aoi stood completely alone. Kotaro, equally isolated, vowed to protect her. "Stay close to me." During World War II, Japan, weakened by early campaigns to replenish their dwindling forces, deployed a horrific bioweapon unit to conduct twisted human experiments, enhancing soldiers' combat abilities. Under the Prime Minister's orders, countless innocent civilians vanished as experiments failed. On a fateful solar eclipse night, amidst an unnatural locust swarm and a mysterious glowing stone, the first Grasshopper Kaijin emerged. Yet due to unknown factors, it could only sense hostility, acting in self-preservation. Despite these limitations, Lord of Ultima's power remained terrifying. Facing Lord of Ultima's psychic assault, Black Sun sustained leg injuries, leaving Kotaro's body unable to walk normally. Later created Kaijin, after 2.5 years, discovered Lord of Ultima's essence, merged with human tissue, could create Heaven's Paradise, healing injuries, and maintaining youth. Even ordinary humans could transform into Kaijin. Thus two contemporaries, one sustained by Heaven's Paradise, gained a heroic physique, the other aged prematurely. Their power difference became glaringly obvious when fighting Spider Kaijin. Black Sun resorted to heart-ripping, brute-forcing victory. Young Shadowmoon needed mere casual strikes to obliterate Kaijin. Black Sun's resurgence and Shadowmoon fleeing Gorgum prompted 3 priests to order Whale, Black Sun's ally, retrieve the lost Kingstone. Without new Lord of Ultima, no Heaven's Paradise exists. Elsewhere in the city, equality-seeking Kaijin clashed with humans. The chaos ceased when Nobuhiko intervened, radiating authority. Nobuhiko declared, "Through relentless struggle, our ideal world emerges."
怪人が怪人の姿のまま生き続けられる。そんな世界を俺は望んでいる。
Inspired by this leader, Kaijin grew fervent, with renewed passion, pledging loyalty to Nobuhiko. Meanwhile, Kotaro at home spotted Whale approaching. Seeing his old friend, Kotaro demanded answers. Whale attacked without hesitation, launching full assault. Kotaro's enhanced physique and combat mastery overpowered Whale repeatedly. After multiple rounds, Whale's survival instinct awakened. Fueled by rage, he reversed the battle, transforming into Kaijin form. He unleashed torrents, knocking Kotaro down. Unfazed, Kotaro used leg spring power, counterattacking fiercely, transforming instantly. Kotaro overwhelmed, pummeling Whale brutally. At critical moment, Aoi arrived shouting,
おじさん、やめようよ。怪人同士で争う必要ない。手伝いの人もだよ。
Post-battle, Whale ignored Aoi's pleas, trudging away alone. Kotaro, now calmed, addressed naive Aoi, revealing a secret. Her friend's revival stemmed from Heaven's Paradise, merged with human cells. The first clash between Shadowmoon and Black Sun. Though 50 years have passed, Black Sun dominates effortlessly against the prime Shadowmoon with overwhelming strength. After the previous ambush, the Sword Master captures Aoi's parents to reclaim the king for biochemical modifications. As voltage intensifies, Aoi's father gets mind-controlled. Meanwhile, the human bigot enters the Kaijin district, mocked by the Kaijin. He claims if he were a Kaijin, they'd be lower than excrement. No sooner said than done. Excrement splatters his face. Humiliated beyond bearing, the bigot flees in shame. Elsewhere, Free Nobuhiko gets intel from Bat Kaijin about a Kingstone linked to Kotaro's companion girl. Meanwhile, Kotaro plays happily with Aoi. Moments later, Aoi's father approaches, with unnatural movements. Seeing their reunion, Kotaro tactfully withdraws, to give them privacy. While Kotaro rests, he notices strange foam on Aoi's clothing. Sensing danger, he sets out to investigate. The suspicious father lures Aoi to isolation. As they converse, he transforms into Crab Kaijin and assaults for the Kingstone.